Welcome back to Houston Life. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and this is something a lot of couples can relate to. Love does not fall apart overnight. Most of the time, it fades quietly when nobody's paying attention.
Oh, that's so sad. Okay, luckily, relationship and intimacy expert Dr. Viviana Coles is here to explain why couples, we need...
Yes, I'm on the case.
Love resolutions? Well, okay, listen, I already have so many other goals and resolutions.
I know, and for a lot of people, they're like, bummer. But for couples, it's even more important to have like that, that teamwork that goes into looking into 2026 from a place of, are we going to be in a better place than we ended 2025? Yes. On my watch, yes.
Okay.
I'm so glad you're here having this conversation, because for a lot of people, life gets in the way. Job gets in the way.
100%.
Family gets in the way. Kids get in the way.
The phone gets in the way.
Right.
Yes.
Everything.
And how often do we hear people say like, oh, you know what? The last time we went on a date night was like, I can't even remember.
I know.
You're here to say we need to be more intentional. Is that right?
So much more intentional. It needs to be scheduled. It needs to be something that you prioritize just like you would a hair appointment or going to the doctor or showing up to work on time. You want to kind of bring that into your romantic life in order to feel like you're actually on top of things. So many people end up at my office, Houston Relationship Therapy, because they just let things go. And then I get clients who will come in 3 or 4 months later and they're like, we shouldn't have stopped coming into you, because they let things go. So even when you're like in it, even when you're on it, it doesn't always mean that it's going to stay that way. So having these resolutions that you can kind of talk about and kind of go back to really helps people to stay on track.
That also feels like it'd be a good time to bring it up, because if you're sensing maybe distance in your partnership, like how do you even bring this up without being like, hey, this sucks already, we need to make it better? You know what I mean?
Exactly. So being able to say, hey, we're falling off on this one that we both agreed was going to be our love resolution. It's an easy way to not be like, I'm blaming you, you're not doing it. It's like, we haven't been doing this. We need to get back on track.
I see.
Where do we start? Is it as simple as saying, hey, every Thursday we're going to have a date night, or every Friday? Because it does, I feel like there's a fine line, Dr. Coles, of like making your relationship another project.
Another project. Well, you do have to treat it as something that it's important. So however you do that as a couple, whether it's checking in about it over coffee on Friday mornings, whether it's always like alternating and tag teaming on who's going to be planning things, even just keeping the flirtation alive and well and being receptive to that, that's all contributing to your connection. But I would say like start with the calendar. Most of us live and die by our calendar. So if you need to start there, that's a great place to start. Then it can become more organic. Then you can say, hey, it's your turn to plan. Hey, it's my turn to plan. Or we have the 29th free. Let's do something with it. So it's just a great place to start, because I don't know about y'all, but if it's not on the calendar, it's almost like it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's true. But if it's on the calendar every, Wednesday, every Thursday, that sort of can feel like, okay, we're going into autopilot.
Okay.
Obligation.
We're checking the box.
Yes, the chore. So for a lot of people, I will say they look forward to that. You want to anticipate like, oh, we have this thing coming up, or oh, it's date night. If you find that having date night on the calendar is bumming you out, that might be a bad sign.
Oh, good point. Good point.
Looking at you. So yeah, like I think that could be something where if you're not looking forward to that, or to maybe scheduled intimacy, which I love to, I'm a huge proponent of that, then maybe that's a sign of something more. If you've got the spontaneous date nights, if you've got the spontaneous intimacy or spontaneous talks about the relationship, then maybe you don't need this. Maybe 2028 you'll need it. But for right now, for so many of us, we are struggling with getting it all together, keeping it all together, even when it means a lot to us.
Dr. Coles, one of the things you tell your clients is that when couples don't have shared relationship goals, then the problems become the focus.
Exactly. When you're not focusing on the positive, or you feel like there's really nothing to point out, then guess what? That's when the nitpicking starts and the bickering, and you're just like, ew, that bothers me, ew, and that's what you start talking about and literally bringing to the dinner table to talk about. Nobody likes that. And that's, again, it starts to erode at the fun, at the playfulness, at the connection that we all kind of got into these relationships to experience.
Okay, and you're saying also like lack of intention. Yes. People that aren't intentional with their love resolutions, that can maybe lead to some disconnect.
For instance, if somebody's like, well, I want to show you love more. well, where does that even start? How do you even know where to do that? You know, for a lot of us, we know taking the 5 love languages quiz is important. Take my quiz, the 4 intimacy styles quiz. You can do that to kind of give you a place to say, we should do more of this, or this is what we should be doing to address our love and intimacy. But like, a lot of people don't even do that. They just kind of say like, oh yeah, I took that quiz 2 years ago, and then they don't do anything with the information. So we do have to be intentional in order to execute, because we can be reading all the self-help books or watching all the reels and saving, or sending, but we don't actually do anything with it. So I have some really great things that are, I think, some of the most important, valuable, free lessons. I have a new app, y'all. It's called Vivid Relationships. You can download it on any app store. You get all this for free, including these love resolutions, my favorite love resolutions. You'll get them for free today.
Okay, so is it sort of like the app? Is it kind of like a workbook where
It's
people
a resource hub. So it's like anytime somebody says, where can I get that? Or how can I? It's there. And it's free. So download the app, Vivid Relationships, and all of this that we're talking about, how to communicate, how to go over spontaneous versus responsive desire, like all of that is there. And so if you're one of those people who likes to download, I got a ton of PDFs on there, and you can tack them and say like, hey, we're working on this week, bye.
Love in the digital world.
Yes,
I do
exactly.
like that. What is one of your favorite love resolutions? You said it has some of your favorites. So can you give us an example of a really strong one and why it works?
Okay, so having a bucket list is something that people don't talk about until much later, but having a love bucket list is really important. So this is when you say, okay, what's something that you want for us? And then it's like you each kind of share 2 or 3 of them, and then you both commit to 2 that you'll do this year.
Oh.
That's such a great
Your
idea.
faces are like, ooh.
No, it's good because
That
I think
seems
when you
doable.
break it down into bite-sized steps,
That's exactly what
it becomes
it's all
more
about.
approachable.
Yeah, versus like, I want us to be happy in our jobs. What?
It's a little vague.
It's a little vague.
It's a little vague.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dr. Coles is going to break it down for us, sort of step by step after the break. Before we take this break, though, Dr. Coles, people are not alone. If they're feeling disconnected in their relationships, and you've heard me probably on Houston Life say this a million times, I'm always alarmed as I move through the world and everyone is staring at a device. Socially, with family, in relationships. Relationships are no different.
Right, and we're always excusing it. Well, it's because of this, or it's because of
they're
this.
working.
Or 5 minutes, or I just need a brain break. Okay, but what are you taking away from that really deserves that attention? And phubbing, we've talked about phubbing with a PH, phone snubbing, that's like alive and well. And so yes, of course, I'm now introducing an app. But when you show your partner and you share it with them, they'll be like, okay, you can be on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give you some screen time for that.
Okay, well, that was a good little appetizer. When we come back, we're going to have more from Dr. Viviana Coles and why resolutions are not just for the beginning of the year. She's going to break it down for us step by step when Houston Life returns. Welcome back to Houston Life. We have been chatting with Dr. Viviana Coles about love resolutions and why every couple should make them.
Yeah, but they don't have to begin in January or February. Is that right, Dr.
Right.
Coles?
It doesn't matter when you start, as long as you get started. But the other part of it is you got to keep up with it. You can't just let it go the wayside like, you know, checking your macros and heading to the gym 3 times a week. Like should be something that's important to you all year long.
We could all use more time in life, right? But there are small steps that you suggest for strengthening your relationship, avoiding getting on autopilot. Your first step is 1 surprise a week. I like this idea.
So this could be anything from showing up with coffee in bed to showing up with a little Chanel in bed, like something.
Chanel in bed? Like the fragrance?
Oh, well, I was thinking more like a bag, but.
Whoa.
Oh.
I'll take that. Either.
Look, something small like a coffee or a bag. I mean, what?
Either or.
Okay,
It's
what if
nice.
we're on a budget? Okay, like
If you're on a budget, this is when you say, I'm going to get your favorite flowers and I'm going to put them in your dressing area. Or I'm going to
note.
leave a little note
Yeah.
that could be a lyric from your favorite song. Just something that shows that you really care and thought about them.
that is cute.
And it can be super small, but again, it can be really big too. I'm putting that out there too, because some people have the means and don't know what to do with them. A lot of them are my clients, and I'm like, use it for good.
Even
There
if you
you
don't
go.
have the means, like last week, Brandon went to Vegas with his mom, and when I got home from work and they had left, he had taped a little note to my bathroom mirror. And just that little extra gesture, I mean, he's very sweet in general, but I love this idea. One surprise a week.
One surprise. Or it could be that you, instead of going straight home after work, you take them to their favorite restaurant. Like, it can be something small.
I love driving together. If like I can get like a chauffeur situation going, I'm like, can you please take me?
Yes.
That to me is a special
You're a passenger
treat.
princess, so much.
And it's fun, and
I'm
it's
the
fun.
driver.
Okay, what about step 2? Step 2 is flirting on purpose. Flirting on purpose. It says not tied to sex.
Right. Imagine that.
Well,
This is
just
when you are
asking.
just flirtatious without having to have the pressure of it turning into foreplay or intimacy. Flirt.
okay.
Y'all, you don't know what I'm talking about?
You could flirt all day long, Tessa.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
with
Nothing else has to be involved.
no.
It doesn't have to end up with your
Sure.
clothes off.
Okay, but why is this good? Why is it
Okay, this
good
is-
to flirt without that intention?
Well, first of all, it sets the stage for being able to just kind of show that you're interested and what I call pillow talk, that underlying sense of sensuality
Okay.
that happens between sexual or intimate experiences. You want to be able to have that be something that doesn't only happen with the expectation of more.
Okay.
Because then it's like, no, I can't even kiss you, or I can't even touch you, or I can't even give you a lingering hug, because then you're going to think I'm initiating more. And a
see.
lot of people are like, nope, I got things to do. And then they'll just be like, well, then I don't want to touch you.
Okay.
I'm so glad that you're giving me that face, because that means it's not happening in your relationship, but it's happening for so many others. They're really struggling with what kind of touch, affection, words can be said that aren't going to be taken the wrong way.
Right. We talk about this all the time, how we like long hugs from our partner.
A long
Long
hug.
hugs.
A long
Yes.
I have clients who call it a super hug and a super kiss, and this is
Oh.
like 3 or more seconds.
Okay.
That you taught us that
Very
here on
intimate.
Houston Lights.
Yes.
I remember that day.
And I think we saw it. Y'all need to take a look back. You were making out with a mannequin.
It's
Yeah.
TV, people.
Check it out.
Don't flirt with a man.
But let's move on to the next point. So you suggest one new shared memory every single month. What would qualify as a memory?
That could be anything. It could be anything funny. It could be anything silly. It could be anything sweet. So this is when you're trying to do something that neither one of you has ever done before. It could be as simple as going to the Arboretum. It could be as simple as going to a movie genre that you've never seen before, or a theater. Something new that really gets you both feeling like, wow, I have a new memory attached to you.
Okay.
And it's sweet and it's fun, or it was terrible, we'll never do it again, but either way, it's a memory.
A weekend trip, even.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Okay.
getaway. Okay, this one's good. I like this point 4. Daily compliments that aren't about logistics.
Yes. So this isn't like, oh my gosh, you're so good at making me my coffee, or thank you for being such a good parent, or I appreciate you laying out my dry cleaning, whatever.
Always wash the dishes.
Thanks for unloading
so
the dishwasher.
Good.
It's not that those aren't allowed. I mean, that's really sweet. You should definitely acknowledge your partner in any efforts. But this should be something like, you know what, the way that you handled that issue with your mom, like that was really courageous. Or I really love that you were able to keep your cool when you were talking to the yard guy or whatever. Like, be able to compliment their personality a little bit more than just, hey, you're so good at making these eggs.
What about like, hey, you've been working out, your biceps look awesome?
I like that. I'll take it.
Does that work?
Yeah, no, that does work.
I don't, I'm just, maybe that's a number 3 thing. Okay, Dr. Viviana Coles, it's always great seeing you.
Oh, it's so great
Thanks
to
for
see
your
y'all.
tips.
Thank
What's the app called?
It's Vivid Relationships.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, we're
check
gonna
it
look
out.
for it in the App Store. In the meantime, for more intimacy tips, including these love resolutions, you can download that free app. We've included a link on our website, HoustonLife.tv. Just look for that scene on Houston Life section. So good to see you.
Thank
So
you.
good to see y'all too.